Hello my dudes, welcome back to the second channel. Might rename it, who knows. Either way, it's time to be a hater once again. I am really glad you guys enjoyed my first video about influencer PR. I loved how many comments were like, I love seeing this like sassy, petty, dare I say, bitchy side, and me too. I have missed it. In the first probably 10 years of my entire YouTube career, this was what I did. The internet analysis, scripted stuff, it still has its purpose, but I've really been craving for like years now this space to be able to like just rant, just vent, just chat, and not have things feel too formal. So here we are. But today's a big one, okay? I finally get to vent about my hatred of big trucks. Today's video is brought to you by the Cars subreddit and this iconic video from Not Just Bikes. My hatred of trucks has been simmering. It's been stewing for years. I literally get pissed off every time I see one. So let's get into it.
I've got a big truck! And it's okay to park like an a-hole!
If you drive a truck like this, you are a pavement princess. If your truck bed is lifted so high off the ground that it's functionally useless, you are a pavement princess. If a 6-foot tall person is virtually invisible when standing in front of your truck, you are a pavement princess.
Hot take, but I think American trucks are too big. Kind of like pointlessly, absolutely unnecessarily large. I would say. They're bigger than actual functional trucks that are great at performing work and hauling things around. And their truck bed is the same, if not less, because you want that big cab so that you can fit an entire family of like 6 in your truck, even though it's apparently a work truck, but you're definitely never hauling anything, right? You just need a big tough car to drive the kids to school and sit in the Chick-fil-A drive-thru. There's this great car size comparison tool, so let's just like visualize it. In case you maybe are not American and haven't seen these trucks right next to all the other cars in a parking lot, seeing them side by side is just shocking. Okay, so we've got a Ford F150 with a standard sedan, a Toyota Corolla, or maybe for those of you in Europe, a Peugeot. Look at your tiny, stupid cars. We love our big old trucks. The crazy thing is like so many Americans would look at that and be like, oh my God, look at that tiny little embarrassing car. Oh my God, that's a death trap. You're just gonna get rolled over and squished like a bug. I wanna be in my big car, honk honk. And I couldn't resist adding in a Cybertruck. When I've seen okay, as much as I hate regular trucks, when I see a Cybertruck in the wild, which is way too fucking often, it's embarrassing. I'm literally like, how the fuck does anyone think these look cool or good? How did anyone decide to pay a lot of money for them? I'm genuinely like shocked and embarrassed on behalf of you. But I've seen them like parked on the street and they really do not fit. They're literally the clunkiest, ugliest effing things I've ever seen. Here are some more car comparisons. We've got some of the most popular and largest cars. This is not just trucks. I'm also including some of the biggest SUVs, like monster SUVs. Again, when I see these driving around, literally going to pick up the kids from school in a fucking Escalade or a Suburban, they are massive. You gotta take like 8 kids to soccer practice at once, and then you've still gotta throw shit in the trunk? I don't know. And all I can think is how dangerous these fucking cars are. The irony of them being like heralded as family cars and great for school and pickup and driving around when they're actually like the most dangerous thing to have children around, whether it's your own kids or anybody else's. It literally pisses me off. So anyway. The age-old question when we're watching TikToks, is this rage bait? Is it rage bait that you need a little mini trampoline to get into your big old truck? It's probably rage bait, but it's also probably true. The little step assist comes down and it's still a good, I don't know, 3 feet off the ground. So sick though. Sick ass truck. Here's another example that I believe is real. This man's got a cute little step, a little bucket to get into his truck. But I think the best part is this doohickey, dare I say. Trusty little tool to pick the bucket off the ground and get it back in the car. I love it. Actually, what is this if not ingenious? What is this if not creative, inspiring? Obviously, some of these go into monster truck territory, like they're literally not street legal. And I actually don't know where the line is between big ass truck that's apparently acceptable and like, oh no, that's actually just for show. Look at this adult woman next to a literal monster. I think that one's actually street legal. This is like a custom build, which that's a whole other rabbit hole I could not go down. It looks like a limo at that point. Is that not embarrassing? Look at all those puny little cars. They look like Hot Wheels. I have big car. I look like I'm driving a fucking semi. Cool. I found this comment. Monster trucks, street legal. God bless America, 'cause we can. Awesome. He couldn't decide like which catchphrase he wanted to use, so he just said them all.
But why do you care if oversized trucks are street legal? For one thing, there's a pretty common theme of lifted truck drivers kind of just being a-holes to the world around them. Like this guy just decided to drive right over the concrete bumper and take up half the sidewalk because screw pedestrians, right? This giant truck has decided to park on the sidewalk, taking up the entire sidewalk and blocking it from pedestrians. And then the hood is so high off the ground that this kid here is basically invisible in front of this truck. Like if you truly don't see any issue with this image whatsoever, you're the problem. You're kind of the bad guy.
And this photo of probably one of the ugliest McMansions I've ever seen, surrounded by 4 giant trucks. This is the bleak vision of American suburbs, truly. And that's the thing, these big, dumb, horrible trucks are pretty much the epitome of so many of the things that are wrong about this country. First of all, how much we prioritize cars, we put pedestrians and cyclists at risk. We don't give a fuck about them. You wanna walk or cycle on the road? Get the fuck out of here. Why would someone wanna walk? Why walk when you can drive? Car owners, but especially truck drivers, act like they own the road, and they pretty much get to. The idea that bigger is better and that cars equal freedom. And of course, I think we're all well aware that these gas guzzlers are not great for the environment and that it's incredibly wasteful to drive a massive fuel inefficient car rather than something small enough to get you where you need to go. Or again, gasp, egad, walking or biking to your destination or taking public transport. But yeah, my beef with these trucks is not just that they're ugly and stupid and big. It's ultimately that they are so dangerous. They are so dangerous to all the other people on the road, the other cars, the other drivers, and definitely to pedestrians and cyclists. If you get hit by one of these big ass trucks or SUVs, you're donezo. And even if you're also in a big truck or an SUV, brick to brick, these car accidents are way worse than they need to be because these cars are tanks and they're actually not safer. But we've all been tricked to believe that because there are big cars on the road, the safest thing you can do is get a big car so that you can stand up against them. And it's like, really, we're creating this arms race of bigger and bigger and bigger cars that only make us all less safe. But who cares, because it feels cool to drive around in big car, right? Cool big car that you have to jump on a trampoline to get into. Not to mention the blind spots. Again, now that I have a child, it definitely hits even more. But like, I went to my favorite coffee shop the other day and I was carrying my daughter's car seat. We're getting in. And I walked by a truck and literally the hood was taller than me. And I glared at the drivers because I was just like, are you insane? What makes you think it's okay to drive this? Do you not see the problem here? Don't even get me started when I'm like walking with my daughter in a stroller. Dude, having to cross the street fucking sucks because I don't trust anybody to just be fucking mindful and careful. I have to be making like active eye contact with the driver. Otherwise, I do not feel comfortable walking ahead of them because I don't at all trust that, first of all, they're even paying attention, not texting and driving or doing something stupid or looking at all their fucking panoramic screens. But yeah, I'm like, are you even paying attention or are you actually gonna stop? Because there are certain places where people are so not used to even the concept of a pedestrian walking by that it doesn't cross their mind that people are on the street. It's horrifying. It's terrifying. The lack of visibility is so deeply dangerous. It really cannot be overstated. There have been so many examples of like testing how many children can sit in a line in front of these cars and not be visible. There are horrific stats of how many people run over their own children in their driveway, whether it's a front over or a back over, because their cars are so fucking massive and so dangerous that they don't even see their own kids or the neighborhood kids or anybody. It's literally sickening. Like, as much as I can laugh and make fun, I do that because that's a lighter way to discuss this, but like the actual like dark truth of it, the reality is that people are fucking dying because of these stupid fucking trucks. And a lot of kids are dying. It's horrifying. They should not be legal. It is so absurdly dangerous and worst of all, not necessary at all. There's no fucking justification. Again, you need a truck, get a little tiny truck. It does the fucking job. Rent a U-Haul, get a little trailer, throw something in there. You do not need to be driving these monstrosities on a daily basis.
Just look at these two work vehicles right here and tell me which one is safer to the world around it and has more practical utility.
Right, again, a work van. Wow, a concept.
It's very apparent in Europe that actual tradespeople, you know, the people who actually need a vehicle with lots of space on a regular basis, almost universally choose vans.
Why are they so widely used? Because they're actually functional, they can hold more shit, they're easier to load, and their hood is sloped so that they have better visibility and they're not insanely dangerous to everyone around them. Like, for example, this video of a girlie getting gifted like a cool classic vintage truck. I don't have a problem with trucks like this because they're not outrageously huge and lethal. But what's frustrating is like it's very difficult to even find like a small truck anymore. Like there are some people in the US who would like kind of like a Japanese style like small truck that's actually functional. But like they're not sold here. And the American brands or the brands in the US that are here are again just competing to make bigger and bigger and bigger trucks and SUVs. Another thing about trucks, they simply cannot be parked right because they're too big. Shocker. One, these truck drivers tend to be assholes, so they like take up more of the road than they need to. They park like dickheads. They intentionally take up multiple spots to give themselves some wiggle room. Again, the entitlement. It's like not only can I have a massive car that literally is too big for the streets or the parking lots, but like I am therefore entitled to having as much extra space as I want because I chose to get this massive car. I'm like, no, go drive in the fucking mud. You should be off-roading. Oh my God. Another thing I have to rant about is the fucking headlights. I swear I felt like I was the only person in the world that felt insane every time I drove and was blinded by the headlights. I was like, do I have eye problems? Which like I think I do, but also the fact that car manufacturers have been literally making headlights brighter and like whiter than ever before. Instead of like a bit of a warm, like yellowy headlight to where you can see the road, now they're being made with these like white, even like bluish, so fucking bright headlights, LEDs. And I get scared driving at night, especially on like a busy freeway because with all the cars moving behind me, it like makes me kind of lose my sense of direction and I find it really hard to like not get distracted. And it's like, well, that's not good. But then you add not just the bright ass headlights, but then bright ass headlights on a big ass truck right behind you at exactly the right height to get in your rearview mirror and absolutely blind you. It's so fun. I'm literally like, why are these not illegal? It's like actually dangerous. They don't help anyone see better, only worse. I feel like I have a lot of opinions about driving in general because I'm a big rule follower. One thing about me, again, I would say lawful good, lawful good. I do certain laws, like traffic laws, pretty big fan of them generally. Would like to limit like speeding and dangerous behaviors. Huge fan of using my blinker. My God, when somebody doesn't use their blinker, pisses me off so much. When people speed and they weave in and out of traffic, hate it so much. I could vent about bad drivers forever because I just find it to be so selfish. And of course, everyone thinks they're the best driver on the road. And I don't think I'm the best driver, but I do think I am very, very careful. I try my best to be a solid defensive driver, but I just like when people drive predictably. And I don't like when people are like acting up. Again, when they're like changing lanes without a blinker, I can't tell where they're going. It messes with me. I'm like, hey, literally just stay in your lane. Ever heard of it? But yeah, the texting and driving. I just think so many people really do forget like we're driving these massive, incredibly dangerous machines and that driving is the most dangerous thing that we all do regularly. And I'm just like, hey, can we just get like most of your focus at least while you're operating this motor vehicle? Because everyone's lives are in your hands. Would love that. Would love to literally just get home safe. Thanks. And again, now that I have my child in the backseat sometimes, I could not be more furious when I witness bad driving. It's horrifying. Actually makes me never want to drive again. So anyway, how much do these trucks cost? How much are people spending for these ugly ass things? Ford Ranger, 55 grand. I love how it's hopping like a little bunny. Hop, little bunny, hop, hop, hop. Shout out to my Miss Rachel heads. Ford F150, which is apparently one of the top selling cars in the country. I think it's been overtaken technically by the Toyota RAV4 now, but it's still incredibly popular. That goes for, $79,000. The GMC Sierra, $82,000. The Rivian, 100 grand. That shit's so fucking ugly. I hate the headlights and the front light. And I hate the way like the edges are soft. It just feels like wrong. I was never a big Cars head, like cars, but I absolutely subscribe to the idea that like you can see a car's face and personality with their headlights, obviously, their eyes.
It appears I Mandela affected myself because they don't have headlight eyes in cars. The headlights are headlights and their eyes are in the fucking windshield. It's like I knew that, but my argument still stands. The personality is in the headlights.
It actually looks like maybe like one of those kind of little toads from Mario. $100,000 car, same as the Cybertruck, sick ass, sharp and pointy, the exact opposite of the Rivian. Like that one's like so rounded, and the Cybertruck is obviously trying to gouge your eyes out and cut your fingers off at every possible angle. Then we have our old friend, the Hummer EV pickup for $104,000. Honestly, like people have been begging. They've been like, please, I have so much extra money in my pocket. I have this spare 100 grand. I don't know what to do with it. I just need something to spend it on. And it's like, go get a truck, baby girl. Baby girl, gender neutral, mostly talking to men. You know what I mean. But maybe if for some weird reason you don't have $100,000 cash right now, you gotta finance that baby. But how much could it cost? Like $300 for your car payment? Let's go to the dealership.
Don't forget, I'm also just a girl.
Having a $970 truck with $480 insurance because I wanted this new truck with features, fun. Fully loaded. They're fully loaded though. So if you think about it, it's really worth it. On that note, we actually just recently, we were very briefly a 2-car family because once we were having the baby, I was like, oh, I guess I probably need a car. I need a mommy car. I had been against having 2 cars because I'm like, cars are fucking expensive. You got the car payment, you got the insurance, you've got registration, you've got maintenance. It adds up. 2 cars sucks. Don't even talk to me about more than 2 cars in a household. That rots my brain. But finally, recently I was like, actually, now that we've had 2 cars for basically like a year now, it's like, I don't think it's necessary. Let's get rid of one of the cars. We will be fine. And a couple of people have been like, oh, how will you survive with just 1 car? What if one of you needs a car at the same time? And it's like, Nathan goes into the office, I work from home. Luckily we live in a decently walkable neighborhood, so like if I needed something I could walk. I don't know. Walking is insane, as we know. But I feel very relieved and very happy. We're still, I mean, our 1 car now is still crazy expensive. Like the total cost is stupid, but I mean, our car payment's not $1,000, but oh, I miss the days when my car payment was like $250 for my like 2001 Corolla. Miss her. Here's a commenter. Me with a $1,300 payment, $270 insurance, and a 2024 King Ranch. That's insane, first of all. Okay, so you're spending over $1,500 a month on your car. That's gnarly. Me with my King Ranch to sit in the driveway the majority of the time because I have a company truck. So you've lost it. You've lost your damn mind. I'm like, is that supposed to be a flex? Like, oh, I have so much money to waste, I'm just paying out of my ass for this car that I don't even use. You're under spells, people. Like, that's true. That is like truly the American materialist consumer mindset. We are under spells. We need help. We think it's funny or cute. It's like, nope, it's actually really bad, but okay. This is what 1940 monthly truck payment looks like. I'm like, looks like a car. What? $2,000 a month? I would have to live in my car to justify just being able to spend enough time in my car to pretend like it's worth spending $2 grand on a car payment. Woof. But this lady said, don't worry about me. I have money.
I usually don't talk numbers, but the last 60 days have been really good. So yeah.
She actually has a much shorter loan term, I think like a year or 2, so that's why she has the higher payments, because she wanted to pay it off faster. But still, the standalone TikTok of being like, this is a $2,000 car payment, it's like you're trying to flex that you can afford to spend so much on your car.
Bringing in lots of sales, so she's fine paying her payment, that's cool. But there are a lot of people who absolutely cannot and should not have that big of a car payment that do.
What's your car payment?
$744.
Hey Chuck, what's your car payment?
$726.
What's your car payment?
$600 a month.
How much is your car payment?
Like $1,000.
Jose, what's your car payment?
Like $935.
We could get into the predatory nature of car loans at some point, but it's absurd. And it sucks because, again, we live in a country that is extremely car dependent, and most people do not have the option of not having a car. And again, a lot of people actually do need multiple cars in their household because everyone has to drive to different places for their office or school or whatever. So I get it. It's not really a matter of choice for a lot of people. Yeah, like the prices of cars are insane. Truck prices are at an all-time high. That being said though, it's like there still is like a little bit of choice. There's like some wiggle room in terms of like getting the most affordable, reliable car you can and spending $2,000 on your car payment, you know? And some people can afford it and they enjoy it for some reason. Let's start with Mobile Mama. I feel really seen by this.
Hey mamas!
Hey mamas!
Let's talk about the most memorable features on the Hummer EV.
Check out this $100,000 Hummer. Oh, but it's an electric vehicle. Awesome.
Can you name another pickup truck that does this? Open it!
I'm like, actually, I have to shit talk on Hummers in the first place. I remember when Hummers came out, and I remember being a small child, and even at that time thinking, that car looks dumb as hell. That does not belong on the street. Every time I saw them, I was just shocked. I was like, who wants to drive that? I remember hearing about their low MPG. I was like, that's a bad choice. Was I like 7 years old? Yeah, and I was right. So Hummer got shut down and then GMC relaunched the Hummer as this monstrosity.
Speaking of, you have a 5-foot bed and a multi-pro tailgate. Step right up, Bobby.
You've got your tailgate, because we love trucks. Trucks all day. Always tailgating. Constantly hopping in the back of that truck. You can't stop me.
Plus your displays.
Now hold on. What is the display behind, like through the steering wheel for? I guess I'm so 2000 and late, I don't even know about this technology yet. I guess maybe, like, is it the GPS, like right in front of you?
And drive modes.
Oh, but good, there's another massive screen right next to it in the normal spot. So that's awesome.
You have a digital rear view mirror and 18 different camera angles to help you maneuver off-road.
You know a car is good when you need 18 camera views to be able to like drive it. To make sure you're not actively running over all children in your vicinity. But wait, I do have beef with cars that are like too advanced technologically, because most of these features aren't even necessary. They're just trying to add extra things to increase the cost of the car or justify making a new model. Drew Gooden made a great video about this years ago. But like, for example, I've been using this new washer dryer set that's like all digital. And at first you're like, ooh, fancy. But it's actually the most annoying thing ever. And I feel like a bitch for complaining about it. But I'm like, straight up, an old washer dryer is easier and more functional. This washer dryer, you need an app to use it. They've got a few buttons, but anything beyond that, you gotta get on the app and then you have to check the Wi-Fi and make sure that's connected to the Wi-Fi. I don't wanna be doing that when I'm just trying to wash my clothes. It also has a smart sensor in the dryer, so it'll shut off when everything's dry, except guess what? It's always wrong and everything is always damp, and then I try to restart it and then it stops again because it thinks it's dry. I'm like, I feel like we got the washer dryer thing down. And dare I say again, outside of the US, people are using lines. They're letting their clothes dry in the air. That's a concept. I don't know.
Wireless charging pad. Your kids get their own heated seats, climate control, plenty of legroom.
But yeah, my point is like the more tech there is, the more opportunities you have of things going wrong or being annoying. So that's fun. So you're giving us a tour of a truck, right? And famously everyone loves the bed of the truck. That's where you can take all the things. You can carry so much. It's huge. There's so much capacity. And yet,
full-size stroller test. It fits!
We still want to see if the stroller fits inside the car. Right.
Now let's try the front trunk. That'll do.
I'm just wondering what the point of the truck is. You know, so far we haven't thought of any reasons to use it other than tailgating.
And I guess 1,000 horsepower is memorable.
Again, this is presented as a family car, so the fact that it can go 0 to 60 in 3 seconds, great. Soon you'll be speeding through the school zone, as we were always meant to do. But it gets worse.
Hey mamas!
Hey mamas!
Let's talk about the memorable features on the Rezvani Vengeance.
All right, first of all, I absolutely thought this was satire. I thought there was no way that this is a real vehicle.
I'm body armored, and so is this vehicle.
There's no way to watch this that doesn't feel horribly dystopian. But I will say I kind of do love her little theatrics. That little zap she did, that was funny.
If anyone's following you, you have blinding lights in the front and the back. Or a smoke screen. Plus my favorite, pepper spray. If you're picking your kids up from the mall,
now you can prepare for class warfare and keep those dirty pores away from your car. This is what Cuomo thinks New York is gonna be like under Mamdani.
Your kids will love that it was styled by a video game designer.
We are just so detached. Like, obviously we have video games based on war, but now we're styling cars off of those games. Totally. Why not?
Curved OLED display with augmented reality, a digital rear view mirror, which is necessary.
Okay, first of all, again, I'm not up to date. What do you need augmented reality for at the front of your car? It's kind of like we have windshields and we're supposed to be able to see through them. And then yeah, the absolute blind spot in the back. Let's hope the digital rear view mirror is never on the fritz. The inside of that car just seems so ominous.
Vengeance is only yours, and so is everything in this built-in safe.
Again, this car's name is Vengeance. This belongs in a comic book movie. We're serious right now?
Parents might need to help their kiddos open the door, but it's a breeze to get in.
She's being so kooky and silly about this, but I'm like, the only place you would need this is a war zone. So either you're agreeing that standard American life is getting so bleak that it's essentially that, or you're an overly paranoid suburban mom who's completely out of touch with reality and wants to further disconnect yourself from other people. This reminds me of the video I did on luxury billionaire doomsday bunkers. It's end of days, but like, make it flashy.
Bring the kiddos along with 5 top tethers, 2 sets of lower latch anchors. It's a 3-row SUV that seats up to 8 people.
Lady, you're killing me. She's like, yep, you can safely install your car seats, and here's a gas mask for comedic effect. I'm just like, okay, I don't know. Maybe this woman never watches the news, but it just feels pretty insensitive to be posting a video like this and making light of all this like war and tactical shit.
I fit, and I'm safe. Let's see if the stroller does. Stroller test.
I just think if you need this intense of like a war vehicle for your daily commute, I don't know how often you're gonna be walking outside with your stroller. Oh, by the way, that car, it starts at like $200,000 and goes all the way up to $700,000 apparently, depending on the features you throw in. It's also made to order, so I don't know if anyone actually has one really, but based on what we've seen with Cybertrucks, there are unfortunately people who are rich and insane and have horrible taste. There's plenty of them. Continuing on, sadly, the scourge of big-ass American trucks are not staying here in the States or even Canada. They're moving abroad, baby. I'm so sorry. I've seen examples of like the UK, Europe. They're starting to get bigger American trucks now, and literally the streets are not made for them. So people are just baffled. Someone had so much fun making that. This is hilarious. But that's the epitome of truck culture, as we know. Sick-ass music, flames, rock and roll, big truck, brrr.
In his collection of vehicles, one stands out.
Let's start it up.
This is Paul, he's an Australian. So it's not just American men who are obsessed with the idea of the status and appeal of a big truck. Aussie dudes too.
If I see a Ram, I have to take a deep breath. I know that people worship them, I understand that, but I have to step back, take a breath to make sure that I don't go out in a fit of rage and explode.
Honestly, same. Thank you. Finally, somebody speaking my mind. You'd think I'd be used to it by now, but I'm still furious. I still always have more room to hate a truck.
Not surprisingly, Raymond is a dedicated cyclist. He's not opposed to people driving cars, just as long as they're not bigger and more fuel guzzling than drivers really need.
Literally, yeah, like maybe don't get a gigantic car that's much bigger and more wasteful than you need. Shocking.
Eats up heavy loads.
Hold on. Whoa. Eats up heavy loads. I'm like, sorry, huh? Okay, homoerotic, we love it.
Most people who own them don't end up seating 5 people in their car full of however many tons it can purportedly carry in the back. Maybe they do once, twice, 3 times a year, but you can rent vehicles that do the same thing. You don't need to own it 100% of the year.
But poor Jack, he says he does need his Ram all the time. He's happiest driving the biggest and meanest truck on the road.
And here's the thing, I'm not gonna make the small dick jokes, all right? Because that's body shaming, right? But it is absolutely true that these mostly men who have to prove something with their big old trucks, something's going on. They're feeling insecure. They're feeling small, maybe emotionally. And this is the only way that they can seem to chase that masculine energy they crave, I guess. I don't know. Big trucks are gender-affirming care.
All vehicles share the same roads, so they should all be crash compatible with one another. I'd like to see different classes of vehicles tested against each other and to dock points if a vehicle causes significant damage to vehicles of another class. Cities in particular should be doing a lot more to regulate SUVs.
And I love all these ideas. I think we do need more regulation. I would absolutely support requiring different driver's licenses to drive a big ass truck like that. Like, it's gonna cost you in terms of insurance and everything like that. And yeah, you're gonna have to prove that you can drive this big old thing responsibly. Can you? Oh, that's a pain, that's inconvenient, it's unfair. Shut up, stop crying.
Ultimately, this really is about freedom. The freedom to get around however we want. The freedom to drive a small and efficient car without worrying about the road safety arms race. Or even better, the freedom to not to have to drive, to get around by walking, cycling, and public transit without the constant threat of serious injury or death from bloated, oversized trucks.
Honestly, and that's why it always goes back to, again, r/fuck cars. I'm always like, if I could just deal with cars less, if cars could be a much smaller part of my life, that would be wonderful. If I didn't have to drive very often, that'd be great. Again, we all just dream of our walkable communities and affordable lives and being able to chill. That's all I want to do. Okay, that is all. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Next time you see a big truck, think of me and say, fuck you, you're a loser. Let me know if you have any other topic ideas for little commentary videos, and stay tuned for the next one. Okay, thanks, bye.